right, good morning. It is coffee time. Let's do the transition. All right, how's everybody doing? I'm sorry I missed last week, but I am back here this week, and every time I start this, I always have this fear that I'm sounding like Bob Ross. I'm trying not. I like Bob Ross, but I'm trying not to channel Bob Ross. I am trying to channel me. So, but it is morning and I made it, and these birds might be too loud, so I need to kind of bring them down a little bit. So, Creative Coffee, the show where I drink lots of coffee sitting around for people to come to watch me drink all of the coffee. So, one of these times I will look like I'm actually awake. So, I had a late start this morning, and just a lot going on. I feel like I've been running around in circles. Well, not circles, just traveling a lot. Ever since the middle of February, I feel like the last 5 weeks have just sort of went boom and they've just disappeared. And I've been feeling like just exhausted trying to keep up with everything. It's all good. It's just a lot of movement, a lot of moving. Hey, Michelle, welcome. Good morning. I drink Batdorf and Bronson that I get at Waller's that's over here on DeKalb Industrial Boulevard, just around the corner. I live off of Columbia Drive, but I think it's the Ethiopian Guja, or Guja. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but the Batdorf and Bronson is kind of been the tried and true here on Creative Coffee. Um, I do like to try different brands of coffee if I travel, but if I'm in the Atlanta area, I'm doing Batdorf and Bronson. And Batdorf and Bronson is pretty much like Dancing Goats serves them, Waller's serves them, Hodgepodge serves them. A lot of big coffee houses in Atlanta serve Batdorf and Bronson. I feel like they're a electronic, sort of electro fusion hip hop sort of, you know, dance group out of Germany, Batdorf and Bronson, or I'm thinking of Kruder and Dorfmeister. It's kind of like that. But how are you doing? It's good to see you. I don't think we've been doing this. I've been trying to do this every Saturday and Sunday morning since the new year started. Mostly just miss when I'm traveling. But um, how are you? Are you in North Carolina or Atlanta now? Uh, I need to get back up to Asheville again. So it was cool running into you over in Asheville that one time. But right now I am so basically what I do on the Saturday and Sunday morning things is I've been kind of experimenting putting like a little comic strip together. It's just like a one frame type thing. It's called Forever is Fleeting, and it's just taken from. I'm doing it off of photographs from just my adventures as an artist, and um, just kind of putting little bits of advice and inspiration and things I've experienced as an artist. Um, so I'm looking for a photo for today of my Seattle trip that I took. So I know Sandy Springs really, really well. I know the building department in Sandy Springs really, really, really well. I have a lot of my architecture plans gets reviewed at Sandy Springs, and tell ya, bless their hearts, they got something going there. It's been crazy to watch how Sandy Springs has evolved over the past 10 years. Um, I lived over in that area before it was Sandy Springs. I lived across from the Phoenix and the Dragon, where the Phoenix and the Dragon is. There's now, I think, a Target shopping center. Where I used to live in an apartment complex that used to be there, and it used to look like a ski lodge. Yeah, let me see if I can show you some of the. Let me show you some of the past ones. I'll take you a walk through some of the past ones that we've done. That might be a good thing to do this morning. It's always good to assess your work. Oh, I don't need architecture. Go backwards. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me bring it up. So here's season one. So, oh, it was fine. The apartment complex was really, really old and it was falling down and rotting and it really needed to come down. It was torn down after I left. Um, it didn't make getting into the Phoenix and the shopping center didn't make it getting into the Phoenix and the Dragons parking lot a little bit easier, and getting out of it that will actually give back. Shopping centers, I really hate going to shopping centers. So that's how I feel about shopping centers. Oh well, you wait. Do you work at the Target or do you work at the Phoenix and the Dragon? Because like when I lived across from the Phoenix and the Dragon from 2004 to 2005, and it was a really really interesting time because I was really getting into painting. It wasn't the recession yet. The recession hit in '08, but I was just getting into a lot of metaphysical stuff at that time, just questioning a lot of things. And uh, I loved living across from the Phoenix and the Dragon because I was literally in the Phoenix and the Dragon every single day, going through all of the books that I could find. And I would just go with the hope that maybe new books would show up. And oh, cool. So yeah, I used to know a bunch of people that worked at the Phoenix and the Dragon. So it's I don't go there anymore. So I don't know why. It's just I don't feel drawn to that place anymore. But like back in the day, yeah, I was there all the time. But anyhow, if you can check it out, um, this was the first one that I started playing with, and it was just a photo I took of myself sitting at the computer with the idea that I was going to put it. I had this sort of funny thought in my head because I block a lot of people on internet, especially my artist page. Like I can kind of feel the scammers at this point. Being on social media for 15 years now. I think it goes back that far. I'm talking about before Facebook. I'm talking about being on all of the forums and all of the different places, before Facebook showed up, like MySpace, LiveJournal, Yahoo Groups, well, before it was Yahoo Groups, when it was GeoCities, all of the stuff back in the day. Um, the God, I totally forgot what I was saying. Anyway, um, oh yeah, I block a lot of people, and you know, I try to vet curate the audience as best as I can. If there's anybody I think that's going to be a issue, and it's usually about like they're bots or something, or they're being they're coming in abusive off the bat. But mostly it's just I know they're bots, and I'm just like, I block a lot of them. So I had this funny thought that I wonder if there's a limit on the number of people that you could block, because if so, I might be getting close to it. So I ended up with this caption: "You have reached the maximum number of people you can block." So this kind and in that filter, what I do is, if you see this one, it kind of made everything very, very glitchy. And then I'll just kind of do some comic-ish, graphic novel-ish type line work, and then I will put a little caption over it. So this was the first one that we did. I think we have 11 of them so far. Ooh. Um, this was the one that I did the second week, and it was this was taken from when I was at a uh, oh, what was that? The Alex and Allison Gray Visionary Art Fair that we had in um, Asheville, the Asheville version of it in I think it was 2013. It was 2013, not the 2014. It was 2013. And I'm sitting there and I'm painting and I'm painting with my brush on the canvas, and somebody walks up to me and like seriously asks, "Did you paint that?" So I decided to make that into one of these. So, and that's the kind of idea. And then this was a photo taken of me at one of my favorite views, one of my favorite mountains to climb. It's called Whiteface Mountain, and what I'm looking at is that's Lake Placid, New York, and I'm on the mountain. I'm standing on the mountain that they've had the Winter Olympics twice. I think it's the only place the Winter Olympics have been twice. So this time I kind of started changing the way I was doing the caption, kind of cleaning it up a little bit. So this was sort of an evolutionary process. And part of the show is to show the artistic process of, developing and evolving a creative idea while we drink a ton of coffee. This was this is one I'm proud of. Um, it's basically me poking fun at all of the times people have asked me if I would do art events or do art for exposure. The whole exposure argument that creatives have. So, I've always joked that if I wanted exposure, I'd run the peach tree naked. And here's me running down. Well, it's not really me, but it's turning into me. So, I gotta figure out how to block. Yeah, see, I am currently streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and I just got somebody that came in and is trying to sell me something. So and it's a bot. It's not a person. It's a bot that's doing it, and it's just so annoying. And I just block every single one of them. Um, anyhow, but like I decided to take the like if I wanted exposure joke, and I just kind of made a pictures me or somebody running down the street carrying a buy art sign. Because the buy art, there's a sticker on the back of my van that I got from Binders that says buy art. So, and then just kind of being chased by a cop. So, um, that's that joke. I am looking forward. I know everybody's up in their arms about AI, and AI is going to like. I mean, is it gonna disrupt everything? Yes. If you're not ready for it, you're gonna kind of get left far behind. It's coming whether you want it or not, because Mostly what you hear about with AI is all of the bad stuff that everybody is screaming up, and a lot of it is fear. Nobody talks about all of the good things that AI are going to do for us or are already doing for us. And you can't stop it. I mean, Microsoft is integrating AI into across all of its software. I just found out this week that Adobe is now got Adobe Firefly. And Adobe Firefly is going to be Adobe's AI engine, and I've already signed up and requested access to it because it's in beta at the moment. And I will, when I get access to Adobe Firefly, I will be doing it, working. I will probably be playing with it Saturday and Sunday mornings with Creative Coffee. So, yeah, um, Adobe is Adobe is already taking the creative side of AI another big leap. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's you know, it sees it sees patterns unbiased to us. We've got observer bias when we are looking at things, especially when we're looking at our own things. And, you know, I don't know if people realize this, but they're only aware, if a human is lucky, they're only aware of about 20% of themselves. And there's another 80% that they're just not aware of how they talk, how they act, what they do. And sometimes there's a switch there, and they only use the data from the 20% of awareness and not the 80% of awareness when they are making judgments about themselves. I mean, this is human nature. I mean, this is just the way consciousness works. So, between the conscious and the unconscious. But yeah, um, I just was ecstatic to hear Adobe moving into the AI realm, and I was wondering when they were going to make the leap. So I'm hoping to be on the beta by next week to start playing with it, because I've been watching some side by sides between Adobe Firefly and Mid Journey, and it's already far superior than Mid Journey. Like, especially like when you say things like put this text in there or put this style in there. It's already got access to, like, well, the other thing is Adobe has access to its own stock photos, which are open domain, open source for everybody to use. So their AI is basing upon, like, being driven off of a platform that they've been building for 15 years. So it's like, yeah, Adobe's going to be far, AI will be far superior than, like, somebody that's not connected in that way. But anyway, just kind of moving through. This is a picture of a mural that I did, that I'm doing in Georgetown, Colorado. And then I kind of glitched it up a little bit, and you know kind of throwing some of my artwork into this. um, I've got characters that are going to be slowly introduced to this series, and the reason what I'm doing this series for is it's an exercise. This coming winter I'm going to start working on my graphic novel. That's my project for next winter, is my graphic novel. And um, I've never done a graphic novel, so I don't know how to do a graphic novel. And these little comic frames are me practicing with the colors, styles, aesthetics, compositions, perspectives, and just kind of giving me practice for moving into that realm. So, um, sometimes as artists, we get ideas for projects, that are so far beyond our capabilities. We've got to make 3 or 4 jumps just to get there. And we usually will create a practice or a series with a certain medium to kind of help start getting into that. Like, if we know that we're going to be heavy on landscapes, we might start doing some sort of landscape sketches for a while. Or if we know there's going to be a lot of like action poses with figures, we'll start practicing with figures for a little bit. So, as a professional artist, and that you move with the different projects that are coming down, and I'm talking about projects that take months and years to complete, that involve like thousands of hours of creative time, like the Arcane Arena, the game that I did. I spent 2 years doing the artwork for. It's there's got to be a process and a system and a production line, and you've got to be on it, and you've got to know how to regulate the time, and you got to be able to still push yourself. You got to come up with the ways to figure out how to push yourself when you don't have the energy, but there's a deadline tomorrow, and you just want to go die in a cave. So it's there's all of this stuff to it. Yeah, it's knowing, like, a lot of it is knowing how to play with chaos, like how to look at chaos and bring a sense of order and beauty to the chaos. And um you know when I talk to people now that want to go into be professional artists, especially when they're young, I do not sugarcoat it ever, because it's like, I don't want somebody to waste 5 years of their lives if like they like don't know the truth about how hard it is to be a professional artist. Um, and it's not about your work being accepted. I mean, as long as you keep pushing your craft and your practice, and you keep doing it for yourself, the customers, the audience comes, but it takes time. I mean, it took me 10 years to develop an audience that was at least sustainable. This is going all the way back to 2007, 2008. And, it's a lot of there's a lot of despair, but there's a lot of it's the good way to put it is it's an agony and it's an ecstasy. And that was the name of a book that was written in, I think, the 50s, 1950s, about Michelangelo and Pope Julius and the creation of the Sistine Chapel. And it was all about Michelangelo's processes. Like, just it's fiction, it's historical fiction. They made a movie about it, and it's got Rex Harrison as the Pope and Charlton Heston as Michelangelo, and the two of them button heads against each other. It's a great period movie to watch. Like, you get to see how people from the 50s had viewed the Renaissance of Italy. And it's really, really interesting from the 50s mindset. Um, all with color, with the vibrant colors that were coming into movies at the time. Um, so, but anyway, it's an agony and an ecstasy. And if you haven't been able to tell, the conversation on Saturdays and Sunday mornings kind of goes wherever it goes. I wish I could, like, I cannot chat back at you because I have a read only chat, because I see the chats coming in from Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So I am hoping ultimately move this whole thing. Well, I'll probably still broadcast through all of the other different media channels, but it's also going to be going through my website, and my new website, which I need to get on and finish. Um, I'm moving everything to my website in a as a means for getting ready for Web 3, which is coming. Um, we're on Web 2 at the moment, and Web 3 is coming, and it's going to be very different. Um, Web 3, the way Web 3 is going to work is you're going to have like your own personal presence on the web, like a website or whatever. It's just going to be, this is you, and then you're going to have this safety wall that's around you, and inside that wall is going to be you and all of your information. And then when you go to sign up for like Facebook or anything that you sign up for in the internet, you're giving them permission to have access to your information. They don't hold your information, and you can turn it on and off as you want it to, and they don't have the right to know whether or not you have it on or off. So it's going to be more private for every individual coming forward. Um, yeah, it's my the way that I see my website in Web 3 is that it's going to be a virtual space, and you're going to be able to either go through your desktop with your mouse and explore, like using the basic, you know, um, like ADQE, like the arrow keys or whatever. You'll be able to move around with your computer, mouse, and keyboard, or if you have a VR headset, and you'll be able to explore the website how you want. And I want to set up the website where you explore like my artwork, because it's going to have it's ultimately going to be a repository for everything that I've ever done in my life. So and um that's always been kind of the plan, is that all of the artwork are just different scenes from this story that you meander through, and it's not really about, there's story, what are called story arcs or story threads that percolate through the VR space, and you can just attach onto one of them or another one and then follow them as you see fit. It's going to be a lot like reading Terry Pratchett, Discworld. If you've ever read Terry Pratchett, it's like, which book do you start with Terry Pratchett? Whichever one looks interesting. And then you just follow where it leads. So that's the dream. Um, and ultimately, I will have I tried doing NFTs when they first came out. I saw really, really quickly that the technology wasn't where I wanted it to be yet. So I haven't really done it yet. But the way I want to run them is, the NFTs are going to be just ways of supporting my artistic practice, and as the bonus, you'll get the art NFT. If you have the art NFT and you go into my website, that NFT will open up certain parts of the website that only people with that NFT will have access to. So the NFTs will take you deeper in. If you buy the NFT of the artwork, the NFT is going to take you deeper into the story, and reveal like deeper rabbit holes. Um, so it's and that's like really just going to be like the bonus to like the NFTs and stuff like that. So um, I just hope I get all of this done before I die, because I only have about 25 years left. So I've got a lot to do. So in this, just getting back to these little comics, this one is a photograph that I took on my Atlanta drive to Seattle. I drove to Seattle and back, and coming coming east across Washington State towards Idaho. Um, I there was this it's called the Wild Horse Monument, and it's this monument that's up on the hill, and you have to hike up the hill to get to it. And I took this photograph up there, and then I put it through a wind filter in Adobe and created this. And then the joke in this one is, and wild horses, please drag me away. Um, just playing on the Rolling Stones song, and twisting that. So it's kind of meta. It's got multi levels to this meme. Yeah, that's the thing. It's meme-ish. It's comic-ish. It's photography. It's sort of becoming an outlet where I can use my nature photography that I've been taking on my journeys, because I'm doing a lot of traveling, and I'm planning another Seattle run for this fall. I'm gonna try to go a little bit longer. So a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. This was my first sunset in Oregon. Oregon, since I was in high school, has always been sort of like the dream state. There's a lot of people that were California dreaming. I was more of an Oregon dreamer. And um, growing up in high school, I was in high school 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 85 to 89. I was only there for 4 years. It's just, I think, just the way that it worked. Um, or was it 86, 87? I don't know. I graduated in 89, but ever since I was in high school, when I was in high school, I dreamed of living in Oregon. For some reason, I think it was more the nature. And it was like, I kind of grew up as an Adirondack kid. Even though I spent most of the school year in the city, but I spent the summers in the Adirondacks. And so I was drawn to the mountains and the green and the water of Oregon. And this frame is just a picture I took of my first sunset. And this is on a little state road about halfway between Boise, Idaho and Eugene, Oregon. I took this photo. And I just sat there for 25 minutes watching the sunset. And um, it's one of the things I like doing is chasing the sunset. I like chasing the sunrise. Not really chasing the sunrise. I like sitting waiting for the sunrise. I like chasing the sunset because I know, like, the more I chase it, the longer I get with it, and it's this. I don't know. I guess it's a romantic thing of me. And the next one. And then on that trip, I went on the Olympic Peninsula, which I want to explore again. And I was told to go see the Tree of Life, and that's the name of it. You Google map the Tree of Life, it will take you to this tree. And it's this tree that's just hanging on the cliff for dear life, with this sort of hole on the under. So it's hanging on one side and it's hanging on the other, and like it's literally at the point where every single storm surge, they're worried that the tree is going to get washed away. So um, I just decided to honor it, and I did a Van Gogh filter on it to make it look like Van Gogh, and and then it's just like the caption was a little bit hard to find, but then it kind of just hit 1 2 tree stretch, and this was kind of sort of like a metaphor for, like, when we reach across, like, big empty voids to advance our selves in something, and we put ourselves into a vulnerable situation. This is kind of that feeling where, like, we feel we're very vulnerable as we're trying, but we know that the only way to get to the other side is we need to reach for it. So this was taken from Loveburn. This is a sculpture by Thomas Clarkston and Scott Dupree. It was their new sculpture at Loveburn this year. I took a photo of it, and then I threw it into the Van Gogh filter on Adobe, and then I enhanced it with digital painting. What I'm doing is I'm enhancing these with digital painting. So this is like multi. It's it's multidiscipline. It's photography, it's and it's digital painting kind of on top of it. Oh, this is a little wee mushroom that I took in some park in Seattle. And this one is of Soul Dance. This was from our last dance at the chapel at Sycamore for the winter. Now we're going to be moving to the outdoors. Um, so yeah, I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. So I was traveling last week, so I didn't get to do this. So now I'm looking for a new image. I want to use one of these. I'm looking for a good. That's the one. That's the one. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's yep. Yep. This is the one. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna capture this. This is the one I'm looking for. Plus that lovely little speck of red in the middle. Let me capture this. You know what? Let me export it. Okay, so where are we gonna put you? I need to put you. So many. I have literally almost. I am coming on 3 terabytes of digital data that I have created over 30 years. Okay, so let's see if I have access to that now. Let's go ahead and open it. Hello. There you are. Copy. And let's bring you in here. We'll put you over that. We need to trim you down. And we'll make a song about it. I already know what the caption for this is going to be. What if we flip? Oh, let's do that. Now, what if we flip it? I want to see if we can flip this thing. Well, see, it's so interesting how see this way you gets yeah. All right, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Duplicate the layer. Now we need to flip this layer. See, this is where I see AI helping me, where I'm kind of going through all of these menus because I've got I want to transfer, I want to flip this image. I could make a quick key for it, but I would like to be able to just say, flip image horizontally, and the image flips. It's amazing how just flipping here, let me get rid of this. clean this up a little bit. All right. Getting rid. Sometimes I forget what layer I'm on, and I'm really bad about remembering what layer I'm on. And then I have a mess. Because then I get things on layers that I shouldn't have them on the layers. Yeah, so do I want it to go this way, or do I want it to go that way? Which way do I want this train to go? I kind of like this way. Yeah, it's just I think I'm gonna go with this route. This is the way that I'm gonna go. So all of these, also all of these train photos, where were they taken? It was I think I got a picture of the station. Snoqualmie, the Snoqualmie train station. So, not sure if you know, but Snoqualmie, Snoqualmie is home to a very, very famous waterfall. And this is it. And I want to, don't let me know if you recognize this waterfall. It's from a very famous TV show that took 25 years between season 2 and season 3. So I might have to use this one too someday. But I went to visit. This is actually like a lodge, hotel, restaurant that you can stay in at the top of the waterfall. This is what it looks like from the bottom of the waterfall. Let's see. That's another nice one. That's a rather nice picture of some moss. Anyhow, so that was the Snoqualmie Train Museum. Let me go there. I pretty much already have a caption for this, or at least the caption that I'm going to start with. We'll see if it stays. So let's clean up this. All right. Let's go with that. I typically like to draw color from the photo that I'm using, so I'll ink, like if I want to like a certain color, I try to pull it from the photograph with the ink dropper, and then this should be all ready to. I don't know. I was. That would be the twist. Originally, I'm thinking, I think I can, I think I can. But I think the twist will be, I know I can, I know I can. I like that better. That that fits the series a little bit better. Too much. Too much. There we go. And because I don't want to just copy the same thing twice, I want it to be different. Well, at least it's going to be the same, but it's just not going to be a split copy. I'm trying not to do that. There we go. Now, let's take it and stretch that bad boy. There we go. I know I can. I know I can. Yeah, so basically the idea is I don't spend a lot of time on these. Um, Part of the exercise is to do it, be able to do it while I'm streaming like this. It's helping me practice how to compose frames for graphic novels. It's helping me learn how to be able to streaming tutorials or being able to do lessons through my streaming platforms. It's the whole series is a great practice that's bringing a lot of different disciplines into one where I can get better at it. I can practice streaming, I can practice formatting, I can practice time, because the idea is I prep for it an hour before the streaming, I work on it an hour during the streaming, then I'll play with it for an hour after the stream ends, and then that's 3 hours, and then I do it on Sunday, so that's 6 hours, and then wherever it is at the end of 6 hours, it's done. I go on to the next one, and I start thinking about like finding an image for the next week, and then sometimes the image comes for the next week really really quickly. Sometimes, like today, I found it while we were like I couldn't find it the first hour. But then it kind of, I went through some of my old photos and I'm like, oh, the train ones. I forgot about the train ones. And so we're, it's just as part of the creative process is being able to still drive yourself forward in a project, even though you don't know where you're going. The worst thing to do is just to sit and think and think and think about what you want to create. And then you just sit for hours and days and weeks and don't get anywhere. And you just feel just despair from that. Yeah, it's always about just moving forward. The the different things will reveal themselves to you as you go along the way. Like starting this starting this stream this morning, I had no idea we were going to end up on the train. I just knew I know that I have a better day when or a better week and a better day when I do these streams on the weekend, even though I do struggle through this. So, this is really pushing my envelope doing this. Um, but you just got to do it, and the more you practice it, the better you get at doing it. And it's so funny because it's something that is so simple, and we tell ourselves the whole long time. I've been doing this 20 years now. The whole long way I've been telling myself I need to be doing what I'm doing now. But it's just like I just didn't get it. And and it just, I didn't understand it, and I would just sit and I would think for hours about a design project, and I would get nowhere with it. So, it's having a little bit of courage, and you start having confidence in yourself that, you know what? I don't know what it will be. I know that at this point I can at least make it look pretty. And that's kind of what sometimes what it comes down to is as long as it looks pretty and it doesn't look stupid, um, win. But yeah, like, and then now, if I didn't do this, because I'm like, what? How am I gonna like? Where am I gonna go with the stream today? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, am I just gonna sit there and drink coffee? I'm like, well, maybe so. Um, Speaking of, I need more coffee. That's what the show is about, after all. All the coffee. So now I went in there and I went into Lightroom, and then I just started looking through my old images from the trip. And I love trains. And I remember walking through this train museum. I mean, it was so cool. It's just along the sidewalk, and you just walk along it, and there's all of these, like, that's the wood that they used to. That's the old station. That's the size of the logs that they used to haul. It was just so beautiful. Old trains are just and they just age so well. The wrinkles on their skins, so beautiful. That train with the moss. I mean, ugh. This. The blues and the rusts and the darks and the lights and the shadows and the geometry. It's just like I can look at this for hours. So cool. And then I ended up on this image, and I'm like, that's it. That's it. That's the image. That one's cool too. I like that one. But yeah, it was this one. You know, this is kind of how this is how I feel right now. I feel like I can still run, but man, I have been through some storms. Oh, the evil coffee laugh. Ah. And then we ended up here. I know I can. I know I can. And that's what I try to do. It's like every caption is something that the viewer should be able to catch onto that captures the essence of a meme, or and not just digital memes. I'm talking about memes that we use. Like, memes have been around. It's just the digital version is the latest evolution of memes, and memes were created and coined by Richard Dawkins and are actually an evolutionary, um biological term that is used by just patterns that are passed down, or that can be seen across the spectrum of the, like, evolutionary cycle. So, memes to me are just thoughts that evolve with themselves, and they can change in a way of expressing some deeper meaning. So I thought, when I saw this image, the first thing that popped in my head was, I think I can, which has been sort of my mantra getting me through, like, literally the pandemic. Because, like, I still feel like I have been going full speed since the pandemic started. And I'm finally starting to, like, my pandemic babies are finally bearing fruit and coming to completion. But I don't want it to be I think I can anymore. The twist is I know I can. And that's what you carry away from it. I gotta change this is not soul dance. Oh, that would be lovely. I wonder if this train museum has a name. Snoqualmie Train Museum. Let's see if it has an official name. Okay, that's what we're looking for. The Northwest Railway Museum. This is what I'm talking about. If you ever get a chance to visit it, and they don't have a lot of images, so it's let's talk to Google. What is it? The Northwest Railway Museum. Images. They had a Thomas Day. They had a Thomas Day. Look at that. Bite me. So cool. I love going to train museums. Let me see if I can find what they used to carry. Yeah, check this out. A lot of this was used to haul the old growth lumber from the Pacific Northwest. Look at the size. Look at the size of that wood. The Shining Twins here to the left for scale. So, so very, very, very cool. Northwest Railway Museum. Where is this? All right, now let's take that. Lost part of the M. Let's touch this and let's stretch this out a little bit. Ah. Wow, it's 9:30. All right, everyone. It is 9:30. That is the end of the show for the day. So, um, I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. And this is kind of what we ended up with. I had no idea we were going to end up on a train thing today, but I like it. So, anyhow, have a good Saturday.